Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. In the pre-market this morning, things are fairly quiet out there. Stock index futures are currently trading above fair value. Commodities are mixed with crude oil down slightly while gold is up in the pre-market. And we've got a little buying in Bitcoin this morning. Now, today is a half day for the U.S. market. A lot of people take today off, extend their Thanksgiving Day vacation through the weekend. So there's really not much going on today. You can see the economic calendar for Friday is kind of blank, and so we're not expecting any major news out today. This is month end, of course, so we've got a long weekend basically and month end. That usually has a bullish bias to it. There's all kinds of automatic money going to hit the market next week. So if you own something today, why would you sell today when you know that automatic money is coming in next week and may want to buy your shares? Because they certainly have to buy something. And it just might be an ETF in which one of your companies is in that ETF. So generally, traders don't trade against month end. If you go back in history, you're not going to find uh, any major sell-offs that happen on the last day of the month. Now, this is the last day for our Black Friday sale. Use the coupon code Black Friday if you want to sign up for any of our programs, any of our subscriptions. If you're a current member and you want to save some money, just drop us an email. We'll send you instructions to upgrade your monthly or yearly memberships, and you can save 30%. And that sale, of course, ends at midnight tonight. Now, starting off, we'll look at the VIX. The VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell are all on sell signals. The VIX for the TSX, just treading water here, nothing going on there. I might not show this chart ever again. It's really not doing much for us at the moment. And next up, we'll look at the SPY, which is still stuck at 600. We closed below it on Wednesday. We're currently trading just above it on Friday morning. If we can move up from here, then 609.38 would be our next target to the upside for the SPY. We're still stuck to the $600 level. Yes, we have closed above it, but that's not the same as breaking away from it. Now, a chart is worth 1,000 words. For the month of November, what's worked? Well, it's been the regional banks, and you can see that investors have been willing to buy the dips off the Flypaper channel. And then Canadian IT, Canadian technology, was the second biggest winner so far for the month of November. What hasn't worked? Well, U.S. marijuana stocks have been the biggest losers, followed by silver miners. And the silver miners chart looking pretty interesting here. We're trying to find support in the Flypaper channel. If that breaks, then that's a negative omen for the silver miners. And of course, some people would look at this and say, there's a left shoulder, there's a right shoulder, there's a head. And so it wouldn't be surprising to see silver miners trade back down to the lows from back in earlier in 2024. But that hasn't started yet. That's just, how some people would look at the chart. Other people would look at a possible low risk buying opportunity here and waiting to see if the market can come back and take a run back up to the recent high. Next up, let's take a look at the TSX most actives from Thursday's quiet trading action. Starting off with Great West Life up at the top of the range here, trying to break out above $51. Then we've got Suncor, third day of a sell signal. Yesterday was an inside day. So a little selling in the energy sector this week, but notice that we've made a series of higher lows, higher highs for this stock. That is bullish. We ran up to the 57.81 level and stopped. Now just look down. There's a wall of support down here. It's not exactly at 53.13, but you can see that that's probably, if we continue lower from here, we're probably going to find support in that area. Then looking at Sun Life, no change in trend there, no change for Enbridge. Canadian Natural Resources has been limping for the past month or so. It is on a sell signal right now, just like Suncor. Things would change on Thursday with a close above 47.97. And again, I'd be more impressed not by that buy signal, but if it started to break out above the high from a few days ago. Then looking at Bank of Nova Scotia, no change in trend there. And then the TD Bank's on a buy signal right now, and I would be more impressed if we broke out above the recent high. Now, here's the first thing I see is we put in a higher low. So now give me a higher high, and that could tell us that the mood is, or the view of TD Bank is starting to change in front of investors' eyes. Then we're looking at Dominion Lending, new high for that stock on Thursday. Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, CIBC, In the channel again, we need to close on Friday below $89.93 to give us a sell signal. Then we've got Manulife treading water up here. BCE, inside day yesterday in the channel on Wednesday, a close on Friday above $38.30 would give us a buy signal. BCE, of course, is basically the dog of the TSX right now. TELUS has come back over the past couple of days. It's on a buy signal, small gain yesterday. Rogers Sugar had an interesting event. On Wednesday, we generated a sell signal. So you come in Thursday morning, you're getting ready to put your order in to sell, and you find out that the bid and ask is up at the 575 level. And so there's absolutely no reason to take that sell signal. You want to just hold on. If you had to come in and found out that the bid and ask was around or below where it closed on Wednesday, then of course you can take the order. But when you come in and find out that things have shifted overnight, you don't need to know why. The market's telling you something happened. Why it never matters why. But if investors are willing to take it back up to the previous day's high at the open, then they're telling you something new is happening. And if you are trading Rogers Sugar, congratulations, you had a nice day on Thursday. Air Canada still on a buy signal, no change there. No change in trend for Kinross. Kinross is the first gold stock to come up on the list yesterday, had an inside day on Thursday, a close on Friday below $13.64 would give us a new daily sell signal. Let's finish off this morning's presentation, taking a look at the New York most actives from Wednesday's trading action. No banks here, no energy companies, no gold stocks. This is a completely different list than what you would see in the Canadian market. NVIDIA still on a sell signal here, trying to hold support at 31.25. If that breaks, then 125, 118.75 come into play. Inside day for Mara on Wednesday should be trading higher today with Bitcoin up. Banco Bradesco, big down day on Wednesday for that stock, and I'm not hearing good things about what's happening in Brazil at the moment. Supermicro still on a buy signal here. We hit our price target of 37.50, so cha-ching, you got to lock in some profits. That's where the bottom of the open gap is. You can see the top of the open gap up there below the $50 level, and you can see that we hit the 50-day moving average and stopped. We still have some room to go into the flypaper channel, so congratulations anyone who took this trade. I didn't take it. It was too risky for me at this time, but the mathematical probabilities of running back up to the open gap were certainly there and certainly worth taking for some people. Bitfarm still on a sell signal. That would change on Friday with a close above $2.26. Tesla traded down to the lower channel line on Wednesday, looking for a close on Friday below $327.02. Then nothing going on with Plug Power, still on a buy signal here. Intel on a sell signal. So coming into Friday's trading action, we've got Intel and NVIDIA both on sell signals. Then we've got Palantir making a new high on Monday. And we're trying to get above 68.75. If we can clear that, then $75 would certainly be the next target to the upside. Rivian still on a buy signal here. We got to 12.50 a couple of weeks ago, and now we're trying to do it again. If we can take out the November high, then 1406 would come into play. Now, the mathematical target of 1406 is just above a psychological resistance area, which is $14. So if I was trading this stock, I'd probably have an order in to sell some shares up there at probably $13.98. That might be a good place to put an order in. Then SoFi making a new closing high on Wednesday. No joy for NEO, still on a sell signal. Things would change on Friday with a close above $4.78. And then Apple still on a buy signal here. We had sellers come in back in October when we got up towards 237.50, and so that is our next target to the upside. If we can break out above 237.50, that would certainly open the way up to 243.75 and then possibly 250, which would be a major target for Apple if we can break out above 237.50. Okay, folks, that is all for Friday morning. Expecting a very quiet day. U.S. markets are closed right after lunch. Canadian market's going to be open all day today, but again, they're going to be very thinly traded. So not expecting a lot of drama on Friday. If you're out shopping today, think about us. Think about, making an investment in 2025 by taking advantage of our Black Friday sale. Otherwise, enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, and next time you'll hear my voice will be on Sunday.